Hello, everyone. This is Sharon Munoz again, coming in with the final dialogue of our preaching class. To go over everything and concluding reflections of this class, I mean, it's revealed a lot to me, and it's been a really exciting class to be able to participate in, and also really worth getting to know about everyone else and their backgrounds. And I just pray and trust in God that He's using all of us. So, going into my reflection, what I've learned about myself as a worship planner and preacher. I do think that one of my greatest strengths as a worship planner and preacher is my genuine care for the congregation where I'm currently serving at. So, because I had entered this course assuming that my age and limited experience would mean that I would have very little to offer, but I have come to recognize that through presence, commitment, and love for a community are essential gifts and significant gifts in ministry. And I've also grown to appreciate traditional liturgy through this course. I've learned that in a liturgical setting, every aspect of worship can and does reinforce the proclamation of the gospel. So the music selections, readings, gospel lesson, prayers, and even the confession that I found in the traditional setting will and can intentionally support the sermon. And so that realization just has really deepened my appreciation for both worship planning and preaching. A growth edge for me is preaching for longer periods of time. While I have become more comfortable in behind the pulpit, I still feel challenged by sustaining a message over an extended period. At the same time, I do trust and have gained confidence in just trusting the liturgy itself to participate in the proclamation of the gospel and letting that guide the message. And in terms of how all of this has helped me in my understanding of the gospel and if it's changed, I mean, for one, this course has reinforced my understanding that the gospel is both communal and personal. One area that I want to continue developing is my ability to communicate both the vertical and horizontal dimensions of the cross. The gospel certainly addresses individual relationship with God, but it also shapes how we live in relationship to one another. So I want to be better about explicitly stating that in the sermons that I have the opportunity to give, rather than just, kind of alluding it. I want it to be explicit. I want to be explicit about the sacrifice that Jesus has made for us and explicit about what that means for us. So yeah, that's something I want to improve on. And again, through worship planning and preaching, I have become more aware of how proclamation can invite a congregation into that shared encounter with God, rather than, like, again, just alluding to it, and rather than just communicating information. Where I sense the Spirit leading me to develop and pursue is just realizing that I don't have to separate my identity and my Latinidad from the pulpit. Like, as a Latina serving within a predominantly white congregation, stepping the pulpit definitely felt intimidating at first. However, I have grown to see that my experience and my perspective and cultural background are not obstacles to ministry, but gifts that can contribute to the life of the church and are a living example of the gospel. And so I do sense the Spirit leading me to continue serving in those spaces where different traditions, cultures, and experience can encounter one another through worship and the proclamation of the gospel. And I mean, it's, again, Holy Spirit has transcended all cultural barriers and continues to do so. So I look forward to seeing where I can serve. And any lingering questions that I have, or any desired areas for further study in terms of worship planning and preaching, again, I would like to continue growing in the practical and theological dimensions of preaching, particularly in sermon delivery, development, and connecting biblical texts to the lived experience of congregations. I'm also interested in further exploring how liturgy and preaching work together to shape congregational formation and participation in the gospel. So I look forward to hopefully many more opportunities to look into that. And I mean, overall, my general comments for this class is I'm incredibly grateful for this course. It could not have come at a better time. I'm very glad that I got to save it for the end of my seminary journey. I mean, it's the confidence that it has helped cultivate in me. I plan to continue revisiting the videos, the professor's micro lectures, the readings, and the course materials as resources for future ministry. So I think I'm just so glad to have these practical tools, the theological frameworks and examples to draw from. And so all of that together has made worship planning and preaching feel much more accessible, less mysterious. And yeah, this course has not only provided knowledge, but has also encouraged me to trust that God can use my voice and gifts in ministry. And again, I believe that for all of you, my fellow classmates. And yeah, I look forward to hearing others. And yeah, thank you.